watching Weasel News.
Put a little a bike bell on it.
Everyone. I now
Ka-ching.
call the town hall to order. If the executive branch would like to comment on anything they're working on.
I'm sure most of you have all read the updates of the cabinet meeting. However, if we haven't, I have refilled the events committee with some of the members from around the state, some of members of public, and we're trying to get some more events going. Another job fair, and the 4th of July weekend is expected to be quite extravagant. So we are in the process of working that together. And also discussing a day for memorial for the police department. There's a few other things in the works, but at the moment I do not want to comment on them until they're a little bit more in concrete. So hopefully I will have another report for you guys on the 12th when we have another town hall and we can address any further issues. Though, of course, as you guys all know, my phone is always on. It has been on constantly, and you can always contact me at any point. I think that's about it for the executive at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Does the judiciary have anything to comment on?
One thing, the chief has announced that the courts will be closed the 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I know
for
Doc's
the
voice when I hear it.
July 4th weekend. That's about it.
Thank you very much. LSPD, do you have anything to comment on?
Yeah.
No updates yet.
Nothing?
Okay, troopers?
I don't have anything at this time.
Do we have any BCSO around today?
Nobody important enough.
Okay.
Oh my
Any
God.
DOC? Any MCD? Rangers? Any PDO today? Public Works? DHS? What about DOCL? Do we have any SAMs in attendance today? Sappher?
Yeah, honestly.
Safa? Okay, I guess we'll move on to the legislative. There are various bills in different states of reviewing and preparations to be sent off to review. We have a state rep meeting on the 12th before the town hall meeting. The state rep meeting will be on the 12th at 7:30. And that's all we have. Up. There is one other thing I need to announce. Unfortunately, due to personal reasons, Representative
There we
Kendrick
go.
will be resigning. And I'm currently in talks with the federal government on how they want to handle that.
Special
I don't know if it'll be a
election.
special election or what will happen. So there's not much I can comment on that.
$2 right now to run for the special
And now we'll open it up to why everyone's here, I assume, public comment. Yes, Reggie? Or is that Montana Moss over there?
I'm Montana Moss right here.
Okay. You had your hand up, so I thought you
I-
wanted to say something.
Yeah, I did. I've got two questions. The first of which, obviously, the legislature said there's things being worked on. Obviously, we're a quarter of the way into y'all's term, and only one bill has been submitted. So, I guess my question would be, what is being worked on?
Do you want specifics? Because there's a lot.
Yes, specifics.
There is exactly 21 bills being worked on at this moment. There is the power of attorney bill, which has been sent off for review. There's the DNR review, do not resuscitate. There is also a new Patient Health Act that has been sent off for review. We are currently working on a consumer rights bill. The other bills, besides the one I mentioned, unfortunately aren't in stages that can be talked about as of yet. But there's a lot of bills.
Okay, if I could follow up on that one before I get to my second question.
Mhm.
When the specific bills that were mentioned that are in a state that you're comfortable talking about, when can the public expect to see them submitted?
They will be
Ballpark.
submitted as soon as the various departments that they've been sent to have finished reviewing them. So as soon as they're being finished with reviewing.
Okay, can I do my second question, or do you want to pass it off to someone else first, or I don't know how this works?
Up to you.
All right. Second question, really for the executive branch. Obviously, there's a lot of campaign promises in terms of housing, police transparency, things of that nature. What progress has been made on those platforms?
Hello?
I too would like to know the answer to that.
Sorry, I wasn't yelling. I very much apologize. Okay, so I am still looking into this media department that I have that I looked at in my campaigning. I am still in discussion with the chief of BCSO as well as the other leads in department to try and get that moving forward and see if we can actually start getting some press releases released from the police into the public in regards to incidences and things like that for a little bit more transparency. As far as anything else goes, I believe that there is some things being worked on with the legislature, but again, I believe they cannot comment on them as of yet.
Did you have any other questions, or did that satisfy all your queries?
Well, I don't have any other questions, so I'll pass it off to the other 40 people in the room.
Okay. Who's next?
You can go, Bex.
Bex Lawson, Shout News. I hope you're doing well today.
Would you come a little bit closer, please? It's hard to hear you.
Absolutely.
Sorry to make you come closer. I just can't really hear you very well.
Of course. So earlier today, Shout News published a report on a officer-involved shooting at Legion Square on July 23rd. So I will just ask some follow-up questions based off that report because unfortunately we were not able to get a proper line of contact going before the article was published. First of all, members of the public reported that they asked officers to identify themselves, and those officers did not do so intentionally. Could Elio please just clarify? I believe you recently made it a point of policy that officers need to identify themselves. Is that correct?
Hello, Lieutenant Thorne here. Yeah, there is a policy where an officer has to give their badge number when requested by someone in the public. Yes.
So if citizens are reporting that policy is not being met, first of all, what should they do, in your opinion? And two, what sort of consequences are built in for officers who refuse to identify themselves?
Okay, so first and foremost, if an officer is failing to give their badge number, you should absolutely come down to the station, speak with the supervisor, and file a complaint on the matter. And secondly, when it comes to any potential discipline for the matter, that will remain internally.
Okay, and just to clarify, you are saying you can't. Are you saying you can't specify the consequence, or you cannot specify whether there is a consequence?
I can't specify the consequence.
But there is a consequence for officers who fail to identify themselves.
Yes, because that is a violation of what they should be doing. Yes.
Understood. Thank you. Following up on that, people at Legion Square reported that despite being shot by police in the chaos of the crossfire, they received lawful orders to leave the scene, and some of them had to transport themselves to Pillbox with a taxi. Can you please clarify what law enforcement's policy is on medical care on the scene?
Can you repeat that question and perhaps elaborate on it a little bit more, please?
Yes, of course. So, in today's report from Shout News, I spoke with multiple members of the public who claimed that they were shot by an officer, not intentionally, but in the crossfire of a current shooting. They were struck by police. They received lawful orders to leave the scene, and they were forced to either travel to Pillbox on their own or secure a taxi ride to Pillbox. And I was able to confirm that some of these civilians did go to Pillbox to receive treatment for gunshot wounds. So essentially, people were shot by the police and were forced to seek their own care. So I'm asking, can you clarify what the internal policy is for police when it comes to medical care on an active scene? Like, what obligations do police have in that regard?
Well, every situation is different. There are a lot of factors to consider for each situation as well. For that instance, I cannot speak on it. I was not there. However, if someone is in need of medical, then we should be able to provide that if the situation is not dire and we're actively not being shot at and, things like that.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to circle back real quick to department announcements, and I would like to start with DHS.
Collector stepped out.
Oh, okay, let's go with DOC then.
We don't have any announcements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would somebody mind seeing if the collector would come in? Hello, collector. Does DHS have any
I apologize, the
announcements?
client called. I just wanted to give updates that we currently have 2 shelter spaces opens in our shelters as well as our Southside shelters. If anybody, like, I don't know, there's a lot of public ears. If anybody in the public needs, like, if you know someone who just moved into the States, we have I'm getting a lot of people who have just moved into the States looking for, help and to get their feet wet and things like that. We do have donation programs that we're going to start advertising a little bit more. If you have an old car in your garage that you get you to point A, point B, is still reliables, but you don't use, we are starting to get a lot more people requesting donations for cars who've just moved here. So if you have, little starter vehicles, we will take those as donations. And we do have a couple events planned down the roads. TBAs. Other than that, just give us a call or fill out our referrals.
Thank you very much. And I noticed BCSO has arrived. Does BCSO have anything to announce?
I don't think they're paying attention.
I don't think we have anything to say at this time.
Thank you very much.
Oh, who's shocked? Elio are the only department. I swear, everybody who's here had something to say. Elio shows up and has not a word. I would love to find out why. Not a single one of you have anything to say to the people here. Not a single word. Genuinely. A disappointment. Is there, you know what? Okay, I actually have a question. If you'll entertain it. Is there any sort of investigation happening within the department right now that you can speak on? You don't have to give details. I know how y'all are. Y'all speak transparency and then we'll hide behind whatever sort of bureaucratic bullshit you guys need to hide behind in order to not give details. That's fine. Is there anything happening right now within your departments that is dealing with police misconduct that is causing, according to the most recent Shout News Politipoll, dropping your numbers to a historic low with the people? Are you guys
Answer
doing
if you
anything
wish.
about that? Anybody can answer. Literally anyone.
Are you talking about this specific situation that was in the news? Is that what you're referring to, or are you talking in general?
However you want to take the question. My question is there anything going on that deals with police misconduct within the departments currently that the people need to know about?
I mean, the only thing I can say, I'm not going to give any specific or anything. For just my own end, yesterday I spent 3 hours over a complaint I took and through and talked to everyone involved about it. Obviously, I'm not going to give any details about what that was about or anything, but I wouldn't have spent 3 hours of my time on duty going through that if we actually aren't serious about, caring about the complaints that are coming in, and listening on all sides of it and trying to figure out the best course of action with it. So yes, I can say whatever comes to at least our table, we absolutely will look into it, and we will hear the sides of everyone involved to the best of our ability. And if you feel like a discipline need to be handled out internally, then we absolutely will.
Okay. A follow-up question to this, and again, anybody can answer this. First, whoever you are who answered, what's your name, department, rank, and badge number?
I'm Semi Back, LSPD 108. I'm a lieutenant.
Okay, thank you. Now, how long has the complaint system been implemented in any of the, I guess, in the conglomeration of departments?
Complaint system were...
As you know it, how long is the and this isn't also just directly asked to you. Anybody can answer this as well. How long has the complaint system been implemented within the departments here?
I've been employed here for over 2 years, and to my knowledge, I mean, if a complaint comes under the table, we deal with it. That's not a new thing.
Okay, that doesn't answer my question.
I've been here for over 2 years, so let's say 2+ years then.
Okay, that's fair. So, do you think, or does anybody on the LEO side think, that there need to be more complaints? Is there a recognition of police misconduct, at least, within the police department?
Well, the only thing I can say is if we don't know about something, we can't deal with it. So if there's something we need to know about, we need to know about it, because otherwise we can't do shit about it. So if you have any complaints, that absolutely come to us, deal with, let us know, and we'll deal with it to the best of our ability.
The very political answer. Okay, so if the complaint system has been around for 2+ years, and the only answer you can give me to any sort of recognition for police misconduct is just file a complaint and we'll deal with it, do you think that there's an inherent problem with that answer and with that mindset as a whole? If the approval ratings from the people of San Andreas are below, they are through the fault line of rock bottom.
Can I come to you with a question back?
Yeah, sure.
How are we supposed to know about a complaint if you don't let us know about it?
The complaint system's been around for 2+ years, is my point.
Yeah, but if you don't tell us about it, how are we supposed to deal with it?
The complaint system's been around for 2+ years. If people are complaining for years, it's been years. No matter what small amount of complaints you have, you'll have years of backlog. With regard to mutiny, we all know what happened there. But
But it's not like we have complaints from a year plus sitting around.
Really? Really?
The complaint I dealt with yesterday was on my table for 2 days before I closed it out and did what I needed internally. If
You don't keep. You guys don't keep a log?
That's what I'm talking about. Active complaints. We don't
Yeah,
have
you don't.
active complaints.
Complaints don't have to be active to be logged.
You weren't. I clearly.
Anybody else can
misunderstood you
chime in. I
talked
feel
about
like
the
your
log.
I feel like your colleagues are leaving you out to dry here.
I'm going to step in here, sir. I mean, there
Please,
is.
I would welcome that. Please.
There is all complaints are logged, and we have everything stored away. So there is record of everything that comes into our department. Now, as far as what he's saying is active complaints, as far as active complaints that have not been dealt with and actioned internally to the specific officer that is being complained about. So yes, the old complaints from 2+ years ago or anything like that, there is a log for most things, if not everything.
Okay, so now I find it interesting. With you chime, what was your name and badge number in your department and your rank?
Sergeant Patrick Lyons, Los Santos Police Department, 203.
Okay. Now, why did your colleague at the LSPD here think that there wasn't?
He misunderstood. He misunderstood your question,
okay,
right?
Let me chime in real quick. You said the word backlog, and I understand the word backlog
Okay, right,
as complaints
yes.
that haven't been
Okay.
dealt with, active complaints that haven't been dealt with yet. That's how
Understood.
I understand that word.
Right,
So,
backlog,
just
yes, I
misunderstand
misspoke.
it,
So,
understand me, so, yes.
Right, okay. So, to go back to my original question here, is there no investigation right now, some sort of swathing investigation right now for the police misconduct that is very, very, very apparently happening right now?
But you need to be more specific than that.
I don't. If it's a macro issue, then it doesn't have to be more specific. If you guys have these things logged, you guys know these things, or you should. You guys have IA.
Yeah, we do. And they absolutely deal with stuff that comes on the table.
We can complain. That's all we can do. At that point, it's in your guys' hands for some god-awful reason. It's in your hands to police yourselves.
I would ask everyone to be respectful, please.
You guys are in a position right now to police yourselves. And right now, it is not a functioning system. It is very evident that it is not a functioning system. So, I ask, is there some sort of swathing investigation right now for police misconduct within IA, within a specific department, anything like that, that the people need to know about?
Like I said, the stuff that comes on the table we'll absolutely deal with. If you're talking about more investigations into PD itself, I said that more on a martial level, and you have to ask them. If you feel like this would be such gross
All right, I have no more questions. It's abhorrent.
I see that someone back there has their hand up. If they could step forward, please.
My name is Eric. I have two questions, actually. First one... Oh, it's over. My first question is, are there any plans whatsoever to have the police undergo any sort of driving training, defensive courses, things like that, and firearm safety?
That question, I just arrived.
Are there any plans or plans to plan officers to have to undertake driving courses, safety driving courses, so they can learn how to drive and not hit people?
We have a thorough driving course during our academy training.
And is that the only time they have to pass that? They don't have a ongoing training course they have to complete to be stay certified?
We have internal policies for people who want to better their driving course skills, but that's about it. There's no mandatory training for anyone unless it's decided by command members.
I find it strange as, okay, well, I would suggest that they consider making it mandatory, as it seems that many officers have forgotten how to drive. But my second question is there a reason why absolutely no statement whatsoever has been made about the call for a hazmat team about 5 days ago at the highway near Grapeseed that closed down the highway and required a FD member to show up in hazmat and then multiple officers to be dressed up in hazmat? I believe it was troopers.
I'm not aware of the situation, but if it was a hazmat situation, I'd expect the medical side to be involved in a statement.
Well, it was the officers there who actually were handling the situation, and zero statement was made. Considering it was posted on Yeet, as it was ongoing, I find it hard to believe that nobody knew about it.
Okay, I'm not saying nobody knew about it. I'm saying I myself didn't know about it. There's a difference.
Okay, and is there a reason why no statement whatsoever? Even want to say, hey, everything's been handled, there's no concern, after all those, after the messages and stuff like that that were showing the situation on Yeet?
So,
and I understand you can't speak on ongoing investigations, but even a statement saying things are being handled would have been appreciated, but nothing was said whatsoever.
Things are being handled.
Now that I asked, instead of, you know,
See, the
taking
issue
initiative.
is I can't give you a statement when I was on scene. I'm not on duty 24/7. I have a life outside of my job. And if I don't know about it, I can't give you a statement. So I'm apologizing if you weren't given a statement. Obviously, if a statement was needed, it would be given. But if there's a scene that is being investigated and we aren't able to give a statement at the time, it's not going to be given. If things are an internal investigation, it will not be given as of yet. Once we are ready to release something, we will.
Okay.
Okay, Yuri, you had a question or comment?
Yeah, I'm looking for the state rep to give the police a break. Why is the next state rep meeting planned for 1 month after the original? Is there? If they feel like it'd go a longer way with the citizens to have you guys talk about the bills you have planned in a public forum instead of us hoping that within some time the next month there'll be more bills going. As of right now, there's been one.
Sorry. Every state rep meeting is public for the last 2 Congresses, so anyone who would like to attend can attend. And also the reason why they're a month between is because every month we need to do one. It just so happened that we decided to do one on that date in July.
Why haven't you done any? It's been 16 days since your first meeting. Why has there not been 2 in the meantime?
Because we had one where we talked about everything that was going on, and it'd just be repeating ourselves because nothing has really been solidified, and bills were up for review, and it'd be like pretty much just the state reps wouldn't have anything to speak on because there's bills in review and nothing concrete.
From the outside looking in, just completely missing over to meetings just makes it seem like you guys aren't really doing your jobs. If you're not even taking the time to at least meet, because sometimes there might be something you need to talk about, but you don't meet and no one knows, and they don't have any meeting notes to give to the public, so the public doesn't know what's going on.
The meeting notes are posted on the government website.
For the meetings you do have.
For the meeting that we had. I posted it on the 15th. The meeting was the 13th.
Still don't think she gets it. Okay.
Any other questions?
Has a question, if that's okay. I've got my hand up for him as he cannot raise it. All right, there you go.
Hello. Sorry, I got hit by a car yesterday, or the day before.
I hope you're okay.
I'm not, but I'm getting through it. You know, painkillers is a great thing.
I hope you feel better
No,
soon.
no lines. It was a local. It was a damn local. Anyway, sorry. Just kind of dialing back to like Moss's question, I guess. Is there any plans to make the the highways a bit safer for drivers? Obviously we have speed enforcement, which do a great job and cracking down on that. But at night times those places get very, very dark, and a lot of accidents tend to happen. I've literally driven up and seen 4 different accidents, in one single drive up the highway before. Is there any plans for any extra lighting on there, like I suggested, I don't know, a couple weeks ago? Is that in talks?
I did not hear about your suggestion about lighting, so I can't comment on that. Was not aware of it.
Oh, I talked to, I think I emailed or talked on the phone to Representative Merlin, I think his name is.
Tommy, would you like to address this?
Bill, I'm going to be reaching out to my federal counterparts to see how we can implement more lighting along the highway. There's a lot that I can and can't do, and that's the way I have to go about doing it.
No, I completely understand. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Thank you very much for your time.
And I hope you feel better soon.
Me too. Thank you.
Were there any other questions?
I
Yes, Yuri.
I didn't hear a single thing Merlin said.
Oh, Merlin, would you mind repeating? They didn't hear you.
Sorry, I'll shout more. As it is an infrastructure bill, there are components of that require me speaking with federal counterparts. So I'm still in that process of finding out the feasibility of adding lights to the highways.
Thank you.
Were there any other questions? Any at all? Any comments? Anything? Okay, then I guess we'll adjourn the town hall. I appreciate everyone sacrificing their time to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for coming out.
Interesting.